Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Buenos días, damas y caballeros. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Antonin Combes, and I'll be your MC for this event. We are coming to you live, and I'd like to take the time to invite you to ICAO's SkyTalk for our 40th assembly. Now, over the next 2 weeks, we have 68 presentations from aviation industry professionals. We've had some great SkyTalks so far. I'd like to invite you to go on to YouTube and check out the ICAO channel for more information. And if you have questions at the end of this presentation, please make sure to go to step up to the mic and ask away. Now, we are very fortunate that in the aviation industry, the market is growing pretty much everywhere around the world, which provides a lot of job opportunities. To talk more about this, we have Antonin Combes, Aviation Data Analysis Officer, to tell you about his presentation entitled Aviation Professionals Forecasts and Gender Statistics. Please, without further ado, please welcome Antonin Combes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be here with you this morning, with you in the room, and also to all those who are following us on the streaming. And I'm an officer within the Air Transport Bureau, and I will be delivering a presentation about the aviation personal forecasts. First, let's talk about the genesis of those forecasts and how we build these forecasts. So first, it was a request from the previous assembly resolution, and we came up with a working paper, this assembly as well as previous assemblies, to present the newly developed air transport and air traffic forecasts, as well as we also have a manual, which is called the Global and Regional 20-Year Forecast, which we have updated last year to meet the needs of the ICAO Next Generation Aviation Professional Program, as well as the needs of member states and other industry stakeholders. First, we have a panel, which is the Aviation Data and Analysis Panel, which met last in March 2017. And this panel recommended and requested the Secretariat to continue to work in the development of forecasts of licensed aviation personnel with the help of a multidisciplinary working group of the long-term forecasts and the traffic forecasting group of the regions. So this group is member states are member of these groups, and we worked all together to arrive at the traffic forecasts, which were last endorsed during the 39th session of the Assembly. And using those traffic forecasts, we then have developed fleet forecasts for the next 10, 20, and 30 years. And using the fleet forecast, then we have sent a letter to all the member states through a state letter requesting states to submit the data of aviation skilled professional, including pilots, air traffic controllers, and maintenance personnel. So through this letter, all the states had to submit this information so that we could start with the basis of the year 2016 for our professional forecast. Then we used modeling, panel regression analysis and econometric models to arrive at traffic forecasts, derived then in fleet forecast, and further to aviation professional forecast. First, let's take a look at the pilot forecast. This is for the passenger aircraft. This is the demand of commercial pilots. So you see the number of pilots by region in 2017. Then, based on our fleet forecasts and the various utilization of aircraft types, we have forecasted and predicted the 2037 need of pilots. And in the third column is the new pilots, new professional pilots that needs to be trained in order to address the gap between the current pilots that will still be flying in 2037 and the prediction of the need. So we've taken an attrition rate for the current population, and by applying this attrition rate till 2037, then the light blue indicates the gap that needs to be filled through the training of new pilots. And this shows also at the bottom the share of pilots by region. So for example, it is forecasted that in 2037, Asia Pacific will need 41% of the pilots, followed by Europe 21, etc. On this map, we're showing the distribution of new pilots by country, and the darker it is, of course, it means the need of new pilots will be greater. So there is an obvious need of training new pilots, as you see in Asia, also North America, Europe, which will have a big gap to fill in training new pilots. Let's have a look at the country level now. If we look at the country level, this is the top 10 countries that will drive the growth for new pilots. It is ranked by new pilots, the demand of new pilots in 2037. So based on our forecast, China will be the country needing to train the most pilots with 98,000, followed by US, India, and so on. So in this table, it shows also the share of pilots in 2037, with China, US, both 16% of pilots in each country, followed by India, etc. So those are the top 10 countries that will drive the growth for new pilots. Now let's take a look at air traffic controllers. So same, here it is the new air traffic controllers that needs to be trained by region, as well as the share at the bottom, the share by region of the current year and in 20 years. And the need of new air traffic controllers will be approximately 100,000 to be trained in the next 20 years, with, of course, difference by region, with half of them need to be trained for the Asia-Pacific region, 50,000. Again, here is the top 10 countries that will be that will need to train the most air traffic controllers. China being first with 20,000 new training needs, followed by US, India, UK, etc. Maintenance personnel and cabin crews. Here we have put both professionals on this slide. On the left side, this is the maintenance technician that will be needed to maintain the aircraft fleet in operation in 2037. So around 665,000 maintenance professionals will be needed. And cabin crews, we are around a projection of 900,000 new cabin crews that needs to be trained in the next 20 years. Again, you have the ranking by states with the new maintenance technicians and new cabin crews that needs to be trained by country. So the ranking will be China, US, India, etc. A global summary. Here it's look at each region. So this is for Africa, the top 5 countries of the region that will drive the demand for pilots, air traffic controllers, maintenance, and cabin crews. So South Africa, followed by Egypt, etc., are the African states that will require the most new professionals. Asia, again, by country. Europe, the top 5 European countries with a demand of new professionals. So it's UK, France, Germany, and so on. Latin America, Brazil, Mexico, Argentina are the top 3 in this region. Middle East. So the demand of new professionals is driven by UAE, Saudi, and Qatar as the top 3 in this region. Latin America and the Caribbean. Europe. Oh, that's the forecast. Oh, shit. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. And North America. Sorry. And the world total, which is a summary of what was previously presented at the beginning. Then, now that we have in mind the need of new professionals, we have to address the gap between the training capacity and this demand. So for that purpose, in the state letter, we also requested the states to report to ICAO their training capacity for pilots, air traffic controllers, and maintenance personnel. And in this chart, we are showing with two colors the current capacity in a dark color, and in a light color is the capacity that is needed to meet demand. So it is actually the demand of new personnel. And we observe that there will be an imbalance between countries and regions, where some regions have a surplus of trained professional, and other regions have a shortage of skilled professional. And at the global level, we observe that there is a shortage, despite the difference between each region. Of course, the new technology will have an impact on this forecasted demand of new personnel, as some new companies, such as Uber or others, might offer multimodal and new means of transportation that will be or may be automated with such aircraft, for example. And of course, this new fleet will require a new type of pilot, technicians, and other personnel. But those needs have not been taken into account of the ICAO personnel forecast, as we are focusing mainly on the current commercial fleet. And in conclusion, we have to say that Asia will for sure lead the growth for the new demand in terms of aviation personnel, and there is a gap between the training capacity and the demand of the personnel, and there is a need to invest in a new training capacities or increase the current training capacities mostly in mature markets and also in fast-growing markets. And addressing this gap by policy intervention by state is, of course, essential to secure and to ensure of the sustainable growth of air transport, and to help states to further maximize their benefits of air transport. Last, I would like to show you a demonstration of the forecast application that we have developed on the ICAO Aviation Data Portal. So I will ask my colleague to show you this. So on this application, this is a web-based application that is available under the ICAO Civil Aviation Data Solution Portal. And under this application, you can visualize on a map and also on tables the personal forecasts, as well as air traffic and fleet forecast. But for the personal forecast example, you can pick a region, for example, and also select the forecast horizon. So let's check the 20 years and look at the total or new personnel. And this application, we have run the model over each region and states, and this application aggregates the data and display the data in a user-friendly manner for our users. And on this chart, you can visualize immediately the numbers of current pilot, air traffic controllers, maintenance technician, and cabin crews, as well as the projection of growth in the forecast in the horizon that you have selected. So here it's for the next 20 years, I think. And it shows also the total numbers under a table that you can export in Excel format. And this is based on the models and the reported data as of today, and then the forecasts are built using ICAO econometric models. So this is for the region view. We also have the possibility to see this by a country of departure. You can select a country, and for this country, there is the possibility, the app is able to show also a map where by country you can visualize the total, you can pick the country on the map, and also pick a country and see the forecast that ICAO has developed. So again, you select the horizon, and here for this state, for example, it shows the current number of personnel, of aviation professionals, and the forecast based on the forecast of traffic and fleet, because pilots and maintenance technicians are usually correlated and highly correlated with the fleet projection, and air traffic controllers is linked to the projection in terms of aircraft movements and overflights. Great. Also, we have the fleet forecast. This fleet forecast has been used to determine the pilot forecast. Using the ICAO statistics program, we have the average utilization of each category of aircraft, and we also know how many the pilot ratio of how many pilots are needed to fly one aircraft type. And using those ratios, we have arrived at from fleet forecast, we have arrived at personal forecast. And in this module, this is about the fleet forecast by region. You can again pick a region, either on the map or on the drop-down menu. Select the horizon, the forecast horizon, and visualize the fleet forecast for this particular region. So here in North America, you can see the fleet forecasts by category of aircraft type for single aisle jet, twin aisle, regional jet, turboprop, and 4-engine aircraft. And also the historical numbers and forecast numbers are available for download. The same fleet forecast is also available by country at the country level. You can pick the country either on the map or on the menu. And again, you can visualize the current fleet as well as the fleet prediction for the next 20 years based on our models. And this is by using this fleet forecast that then we arrived at pilot forecasts and maintenance personnel forecasts using industry ratio of how many pilots and how many maintenance engineers are needed to maintain one frame or fly one frame of aircraft. Thank you with that. If we go back to the presentation now, this application is available under the ICATS platform, which is the ICAO Civil Aviation Data Solution. It is an online platform, and this particular application has a forecast module integrated, and this forecast module can give you the air traffic forecast, fleet traffic, and personal forecast. Regarding the air traffic forecast, it will give you a detailed forecast by country or by route group. And for those interested, I invite you to come next week, where we will be giving a demonstration and a presentation about the air traffic forecast in particular. In this presentation, we have detailed the personal forecast module and the fleet a brief demo of the fleet forecast modules. And if you are interested, you are all invited to send an email to the cads@icao.int email that is on the screen. And also, please come anytime to talk to us, either in this room or at the booth that is available in front of the assembly hall. We can give you another demo and also answer any question you may have about this application. So I wish to thank you all for your presence here, and I will take questions from the floor, please.
If you have questions, please step up to the mic. Okay, well, thank you, Antonin Combes.
Thank you very much.